Dear students, in the previous class we have studied about the buffer action and its applications, that is buffer solution and its application we have studied in the last class. Today the next topic we are going to study is applications of conductance measurement. There are two important applications are given in your syllabus. First one we are going to study determination of degree of dissociation of weak electrolytes. It is represented by alpha. Listen, conductance measurement is very much helpful in determining the degree of dissociation of a given weak electrolyte. We have already studied the degree of dissociation is nothing but the fraction of the total electrolyte that has undergone into solution at the attainment of equilibrium, or the degree of dissociation is nothing but to what extent it has been dissociated. That can be easily calculated by using conductance measurement. We know the formula: degree of dissociation equal to lambda C divided by lambda 0. So lambda C is nothing but equivalent conductance of a given weak electrolyte at a given concentration, and the equivalent conductance of a weak electrolyte at infinite dilution or at zero concentration. The value of lambda 0 is known. That is nothing but, we know that according to Goldbach's law, lambda 0 is nothing but lambda plus lambda infinite minus the equivalent conductance of cation and anion on addition. We get the equivalent conductance at zero concentration or at infinite dilution. When these two conductance are add up, we get this value. These conductance values of cation and anion at zero dilution or zero concentration can be taken up from the table, their conductance values. So this value is known, and this value is calculated by conductance measurement. That is equivalent conductance at a given concentration. We can easily find out the degree of dissociation of a given weak electrolyte at any given concentration. So the conductance measurement is very much helpful in determining the degree of dissociation of any given electrolyte, of any given weak electrolyte at any given concentration, provided you must know the value of equivalent conductance value of at zero concentration. That can be easily found out by adding the conductances of cation and anion. It is available in the table. This is the best method to find out the degree of dissociation of any given weak electrolyte. The next topic, the next application, very important application we are going to study is very important. It is a very important 5-mark question. That is number 2, determination of solubility of a sparingly soluble salt. What is meant by sparingly soluble salt? Sparingly soluble salt, there are some salts which are soluble in a water to a very little extent. A very minute quantity of salt will undergo into the solution. Even a minute quantity of salt that has undergone into solution in the form of ions, that can be easily determined by conductance measurement. The sparingly soluble salt, for example, silver chloride, barium sulfate, lead sulfate, okay, silver chloride, barium chloride, lead sulfate, etc. They are all called sparingly soluble salt. Actually, they are insoluble, so to say. They undergo into the solution when this type of salts are dissolved into the water and suspend it into the water and keep it for a long time. A very small and minute quantity of salt will undergo into the solution in the form of an ions that contributes to the conductance. So even a minute quantity of salt that had undergone or its solubility can easily be measured by means of conductance measurement. Okay? How it is to be found out? Now let us consider, we take silver chloride salt. Now if you want to find out the solubility of silver chloride salt, first the silver chloride salt is a curdy white precipitate. First it is washed with water 2 to 3 times to remove all the soluble impurities. Then this salt is suspended in a water for 1 hour. Okay, it is suspended in a water, okay, at 20 days in a water for a long time. See, now if you want to find out the solubility of the salt at a temperature of 25 degrees centigrade, the salt is repeatedly washed first to remove all the soluble impurities. Then what happens? It is then suspended in a water at 25 degrees centigrade. When it is suspended in water at 25 degrees centigrade, what happens? We are leaving it for 1 hour. A very minute quantity of salt will dissolve. A very minute quantity of silver chloride, Ag plus and Cl minus ions will goes into the solution in the form of ions. Now what we are doing is, after that we are filtering the solution. Okay, silver chloride dissolved in water, we get filtered and introducing a cell. Okay, you know a cell is made up of 2 electrodes. These 2 electrodes are connected to the conductivity bridge. We are finding out the conductance of a solution. Okay, first we are finding out the specific conductance. The specific conductance of silver chloride solution is determined. Silver chloride solution is nothing but it contains AgCl plus water. Okay, first it is determined. Then we are finding out the conductance of water alone in which it is dissolved. We are taking a water in which it is dissolved. Its specific conductance is also determined. When we subtract these two, we get the conductance due to only silver chloride. When it is multiplied by cell constant, we get the specific conductance value. Listen, I am writing down the specific conductance conductance of AgCl will be equal to conductance of silver chloride solution minus conductance of pure water. At 25 degrees centigrade. When we subtract these two and multiplied by cell constant value, okay? When we multiply with cell constant value, we get the specific conductance of AgCl, that is nothing but kappa of AgCl. When you know the specific conductance, you can easily find out the equivalent conductance. Thereby, you can easily find out the solubility of a sparingly soluble salt. For example, suppose this value is taken as K. Suppose the solubility of silver chloride is taken as S. Solubility of silver chloride is taken as S, then the volume of solution containing 1 gram equivalent of silver chloride is nothing but, okay, the volume of solution containing 1 gram equivalent of electrolyte is nothing but 1000 into kappa of AgCl divided by solubility. Usually we are using concentration. Concentration is nothing but mainly depends upon the solubility. Greater the solubility, more ions will go into the solution, automatically the concentration is also increases. So therefore, instead of writing C, I am writing the solubility of AgCl, so to say. This is solubility of AgCl. Now, as the solubility of AgCl is very low because the minute quantity of AgCl is gone into the solution. Therefore, this is taken as the infinite dilute solution. Okay, it is taken as the equivalent conductance at infinite dilute solution. So therefore, we know that the equivalent conductance of silver chloride, actually this is equal to lambda 0 of AgCl, which is equal to the solution containing AgCl to a very little amount. It can be taken as the equivalent conductance of silver chloride at infinite dilution. This can be calculated as lambda of Ag plus ions plus conductance of Cl minus ions. The conductance of Ag plus ions is found to be 61.92 and the equivalent conductance of Cl minus is found to be 76.34. The total value will be equal to 138.26 ohm inverse centimeter square per equivalent. Okay, so the specific conductance value of silver chloride is known. Just now we have calculated. We know the value of equivalent conductance of silver chloride at infinite dilution. We can easily find out the solubility of AgCl. So therefore, now I can write the solubility of AgCl S will be equal to 1000 into specific conductance of AgCl divided by, that is equivalent conductance at infinite dilution of silver chloride, that is nothing but 138.26. So this value will use the solubility, okay, the solubility of silver chloride is given in gram equivalents per liter. Okay, this expression will give you the solubility of silver chloride in terms of gram equivalents per liter, or the solubility of this is the solubility of silver chloride in water, or the solubility of equivalent, that is the solubility of silver chloride will be 1000 into copper AgCl, specific conductance of AgCl 138.26 into, that is equivalent of silver, equivalent weight of silver 143.5, that will be equal to, that is grams per liter. Okay, this is the solubility of AgCl in grams per liter. This is also the solubility of AgCl in gram equivalents per liter. So therefore, the solubility of a sparingly soluble salt like lead sulfate, barium chloride, lead chromate, silver chloride can be easily be determined if you know the value of the equivalent conductance of silver chloride of a particular salt, and if you know the specific conductance, you can easily find out the solubility. Say once again I am repeating. First, what we have to do is we have to wash the precipitate 2 to 3 times in water to remove all the soluble impurities. Then the sparingly soluble salt is suspended in water at 25 degrees centigrade for about 2 hours. Then what happens? A little quantity of salt will undergo into the solution in the form of an ions. So then, by using the conductivity cell, we are measuring the conductance of silver chloride solution, and we are also finding out the conductance of pure water, subtracting the conductance of these two and multiplied by cell constant, we will get the specific conductance of silver chloride. Then it is multiplied by 1000 will give you the volume of the solution containing 1 gram equivalent of silver chloride divided by the equivalent conductance of silver chloride. From this you can easily find out the solubility of silver chloride in gram equivalents per liter or gram per liter. So conductance measurement is very much helpful in determining the solubility of any given sparingly soluble salt by using conductance measurement. So today we have studied, there are very 2 important applications of conductance measurement. Number 1, first we have studied determination of degree of dissociation of any given weak electrolyte at any given concentration can be calculated. Secondly, the solubility of any sparingly soluble salt can easily be determined by this conductance method. So the remaining topic we will study in the next class.